because this campus represents their struggle and their vision. And there are two parents here tonight, one of whom will introduce our beloved mayor, Sam Licardo. I would like to introduce these two parent leaders, quienes han hecho tanto, right? No solamente para esta escuela, pero están haciendo tanto para la comunidad aquí en San José, para las familias iguales que ustedes que luchan cada día por la oportunidad de tener una escuela excelente. Por favor de hacer un aplauso para una madre, Lorena Romero y Hilda Magaña. Before Lorena introduces somebody who I feel very comfortable calling by his first name, Sam, thank you for being a mayor that we can call by your first name. Before I introduce, or let Lorena introduce the mayor, I want to remind you all something that you may not know, but it's written in your program. 74% of the kids on this stage have been accepted to one or more four-year universities. You know, they don't publish that data on any state website. Senator Beal, we'd like that to happen. We'd like you to work with the California Department of Education to ensure that schools have to track how many kids apply and get accepted to four-year schools, because DCP likes being on top. And Senator Bell, I'm sorry, I misspoke your name. The other thing that I want to point out to everybody is every single young person on this stage actually has a plan after high school. We have one young man who's going into the U.S. Navy. I'd like him to stand.
Jennifer, how many minutes I have? Okay, it's a joke. Buenas tardes a todos, soy Lorena, soy madre líder de PAC más de 10 años atrás. ¿Por qué me hice líder de PAC? Porque en la educación hay mucha necesidad y mis hijos la estaban necesitando. Tengo 5 hijos, uno está en The ANSA College, 3 están aquí en DCP. So, ustedes entenderán cuál era el motivo de yo estar aquí en cada una de las juntas. Tengo un rocket ship que está en primer grado. Gracias, Jennifer, por dejarme decir unas palabras este día, que es muy especial para todos ustedes y para mí también, para todos nuestros estudiantes. Familias y estudiantes, hemos luchado mucho los pasados 7 meses para que sus hijos se pudieran graduar. Ustedes no saben, pero mi salud se deterioró a causa de todo esto. 7 meses de lucha, 7 meses que yo estuve en cama. Cuando Jennifer me decía, Lore, we have meeting, I get up from my bed, I came to the meeting, I back to my bed. La lucha continúa y es para que nuestras futuras generaciones tengan su escuela por muchos años. Sé que mi presencia y la de mis compañeros presentes hizo la diferencia de esta lucha para que DCP se quede un año más en Hester. Cuando recibimos la noticia que ya no estaríamos más aquí, en lo personal, ese fue el cambio que yo hice. Renuncié a mi trabajo, mi prioridad era DCP. porque me recordó que 10 años atrás era la lucha que yo tenía porque mi hijo, que tenía 5 años, estaba con problemas, necesidades que en ese tiempo no les importaban. Entonces, ahora que mi hijo está aquí en DCP y que logré que mi hijo entrara y que estuviera contento, yo no iba a dejar que eso pasara. Mi compañera Hilda y yo estuvimos en cada una de las juntas, nunca faltamos a ellas y gracias a nosotros se hizo la diferencia. Nosotros como padres debemos de ayudar a nuestros estudiantes, seguir apoyándolos. Yo los invito, padres, a continuar siendo parte de la vida de sus hijos y a continuar haciendo memorias juntos. Ahora, quiero darle la bienvenida a una persona muy importante que para nosotros, alguien que reconoce la necesidad de nuestros estudiantes. Él ha sido un gran mediador y apoyo para que nuestra escuela continuara trabajando duro para mejorar la brecha educativa que existe en nuestros estudiantes. Es un orgullo tenerlo aquí este día, celebrando con todos ustedes el éxito de sus hijos, de nuestros hijos. Por favor, démosle un gran aplauso a Sam Licardo.
Gracias, Lorena, por su liderazgo en la comunidad, por su servicio aquí DCP Compact. Well, good evening. Y buenas noches a todos. Board members, families, and friends of Downtown College Prep. Good afternoon. It's my honor to just be in any way associated with this incredible phenomenon we call DCP. And thank you for giving me the honor of joining you this evening. To our Downtown College Prep faculty, thank you. Thank you for inspiring and lifting our future leaders. We'll all reap the reward for your toil and your commitment to our young women and men. Graduates, I'm going to come back to you in a moment. But I want to first talk to your parents. Padres de los graduados. Quisiera dar gracias a todos ustedes. Por favor, levántense. If all the parents could please stand. All the parents of the graduates. Thank you. Felicidades. Congratulations. You've completed officially your task of raising a bright, thriving, impressive teenager. Especially that one. And best of all, you've lived to tell about it. So thank you all. Now I'd like to come back to our graduates. I've been to a few graduations. I'm pretty old. And I know the drill. You guys are having a great time. You're excited. You're fired up about celebrating later tonight. And just as the momentum's building, a commencement day speaker comes to the podium. And he or she talks and talks and talks. And pretty soon your thoughts start wandering to the parties that are going on tonight, that your friends are having, and you begin to nod off. And while you do so, your speaker continues to pontificate, to preach, to proselytize. And at the end of this seemingly interminable sermon, the speaker offers her all-knowing, all-encompassing advice to you about your future, telling you how to be successful, how to be happy, all the important things, all the way down to good dental hygiene. Finally, the commencement day speaker has reached the end of the speech, and with great enthusiasm and excitement, the day has largely come to a close. So I stand before you today, And I see no reason why today should be any different than all those other days. So here we go. But I'm going to save you the suspense and waiting until the end of the speech to dispense my sterling advice to you. Instead, I'm going to cut right to the chase. And I'm going to offer this very simple exhortation to each one of you. Inspire us. That's my advice. Inspire us. Now, graduates, I just saved you the trouble of listening to the rest of my speech by giving you my advice up front. So for the duration, you can go back to tweeting, texting, and doing about whatever you're doing to celebrate tonight and ignore the rest of the speech. But before you do, let me tell you why you should inspire us. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it just so happens that we live in an incredible place, this place we call Silicon Valley. But we also live in a place badly in need of inspiration. We have over 7,000 homeless residents in our valley, even as we live in one of the wealthiest places on the planet. We have over 200,000 people in our county who face food insecurity, not knowing where the next meal will come from. And yet 40% of the food that's produced in this state is thrown away before it can be eaten. We live in a country in which primary and secondary education is free. And yet here in San Jose, almost 2/3 of those students who enter our public high schools fail to graduate meeting the minimum requirements of a California State University. We face a potentially catastrophic drought. And yet we have technology today to safely recycle tens of millions of gallons of water that we routinely discharge into the bay. So don't get me wrong, it would be helpful if we had more water, more food, more resources, more money. We'd all like to have more of all of those things. But with or without those resources, what we really need is more imagination, more resolve, and more inspiration. We need more inspiration as a community to creatively respond to these great challenges we face as a city, as a community. And that's where you come in. So returning to my advice to the graduates, my advice is to inspire us. And you'll inspire us in 3 ways. First, you'll inspire us by telling your story. Secondly, you'll inspire us by empowering others to tell their stories. And finally, you'll inspire us by living a life that inspires you. So let's start with your story. You're teenagers. Believe it or not, I was a teenager once, a long time ago. And I recall as a teenager feeling pretty deluged with a lot of people's opinions, feeling hyper aware of those opinions. And I know it's even worse today because now, in every given moment, you see thousands of your friends' opinions texted, tweeted, and posted. Their views about everything and everyone, from Riley Curry to the Kardashian family liposuction treatment. Now, those opinions can be harsh, the opinions of our peers. We're often judgmental in how we judge, in how we offer opinions. And being subject to that flurry of opinions, we can also feel as though our stories are not worth telling, that our friends don't take our feelings seriously. Our elders dismiss our lack of experience in the world. But believe one thing, that your story must be told. It deserves telling, because so many of you have already lived such powerfully inspiring lives. Over half of you were the first members of your family to graduate from high school. Right. Many of you will be the first in your family to graduate from college. And yes. And you have overcome extraordinary obstacles to do this. So tell your inspiring story. It's a story that has to be told because it's a story about our community. I know for many of you, your story is intertwined in your family with immigration. And we live in a city where 2/3 of us are either immigrants or children of immigrants. That's who we are in San Jose. That's how we roll. It's a story of many families. My own maternal ancestors, who were among the first Mexican settlers in California in the 18th century. It's the story of my grandparents who immigrated in the last century. And it's the story of the dreamers today.